Atlanta News First Plus starts now with the First Alert Weather Day.
All right, everyone. Today is a First Alert Weather Day. I'm First Alert Meteorologist Courtney Jacobazzi. We are going to cover everything that you need to know about what to expect in terms of today's storms. I know everyone is probably like, when is this all coming to an end? It has been such a rainy and stormy May. In fact, I was looking up some details today. So far in the city of Atlanta, so at our rain gauge at the airport, we've picked up almost 7 inches of rain. So that's double the amount where we should be. So with that said, we've picked up a lot of rain, and with more storms incoming, we've had a lot of downed trees recently with our afternoon storms. I do expect more of that today. So our First Alert Weather Day, the timing between about 11 a.m. and 4 p.m. We do have a few showers starting to move into northwest Georgia, few rumbles of thunder north of us in Tennessee, but I think we'll start to watch in our far northwestern counties first around 11, and then that rolls into the 4 o'clock hour. By 5 p.m., when a lot of you are kind of ending your work day, we're going to be dry and your evening looks a lot nicer, but a line of strong storms is what to expect. So let's take you through First Alert Futurecast here. Again, 10 o'clock right now, we have showers and storms ongoing out to our north. That will move into northwest Georgia over the next couple of hours. This latest model run slowing down just a touch, but the issue with that is that means that more of us will experience this storm system within the heat of the day. So 11 to noon, we're looking at far northwest Georgia from Towns, Union, Rabun County, Fannin, Gilmer County. So we're talking Ellijay, Blue Ridge, up into Rome, Floyd into Tuga counties. Strong to severe storms possible. You see that really bright red line there? That's indicating to me strong straight line damaging wind gusts. Any severe storms could carry wind gusts upwards of 60 miles per hour, if not a little greater today with all the fuel that we have. 1 o'clock, showers and storms rolling into metro Atlanta. That will bring the chance for severe storms from Cherokee County. So places like Canton, Atlanta, Smyrna, Marietta, all the way up into Gainesville, Athens, Sewanee. We'll be watching for those isolated strong to severe storms. At this point, notice how you're seeing more little tiny cells develop within that line, not necessarily that straight red line gradient that we were seeing north of the city. That's because we're going to switch our severe mode, not to necessarily one that's super linear, but we're going to start to see some rotation within these storms. So isolated tornadoes are possible. I think the main place we'll be looking for that is along and south of the I-85 corridor from Athens down to Eatonton, Griffin as well, and the city of Atlanta. We can't completely rule out a brief tornado as well. Going into the 2 o'clock hours, storms slowly drifting south of the city. By 3 o'clock, we'll be looking from Athens to Griffin to LaGrange for isolated severe storms, Eatonton, U as well. And then by, again, 5 o'clock, we are giving the all clear and we can enjoy the rest of our night. Drier air will be ushering in. It will be breezy. It's going to overall be a really nice evening if you do have any Friday night plans. Here's a look at the storm threats. So damaging wind and an isolated tornado or two will be our two biggest concerns. Small hail will be possible in any of these storms as well, especially in the afternoon. And with all the fuel we have, instability, lightning is definitely going to be a high likelihood. These storms are more than likely going to be pretty electric as they're moving in here. So that 2% tornado risk now covering all of North Georgia. Yesterday it was mainly south of Atlanta. Where is highlighted in red there, the place that's highlighted in red there rather, that's where we're thinking we're going to have the best chance for maybe an isolated severe storm. Essentially, our wind at the surface and in the upper levels isn't all going to be coming out of the same direction. So that's when you start to get that turning, that change of wind direction and speed with height. We call that wind shear. That's an ingredient you need for isolated tornadoes. So from Sparta, Union Point, Madison, Eatonton, Monticello, over into McDonough, Conyers, Athens, we'll be watching for an isolated tornado. Now, don't look at this and say if you're outside of this red dot that you're not going to have the chance for an isolated tornado. All of North Georgia does have the threat, but that's where we're thinking is the greatest risk for an isolated tornado. Really important to have a way to receive weather warnings. Our First Alert Weather app, a great tool to have. We're going to update it as soon as I get off here. I'm going to go and do an app update for you, and this will let you know hour by hour when to expect the storms. It will let you know if storms are in your area. Most importantly today, it will give you severe weather alerts. Just go to the notifications or your settings and turn on those severe weather alert notifications. Really good tool to have, especially with the threat for tornadoes today. It will ping your phone, and then you and your family can go into your safe place to stay safe when storms are rolling through. Lower humidity ushers in for the weekend. So let's talk about the good news now. Lower humidity. We're talking dew points in the 50s, really comfortable. And overnight tonight, so really tomorrow morning, we're waking up in the low to mid 50s, guys, with low humidity and a breeze. Catch me on the back porch with a cup of coffee in my hand, okay? It is just going to be spectacular overnight tonight. Tomorrow afternoon, we'll see a lot of sunshine in low 80s. It'll be a little breezy tomorrow as well. Same thing Sunday morning, really comfy start. Sunday afternoon and evening, really after 3 o'clock, a few showers, maybe a rumble of thunder starting up in the mountains. So if you have any afternoon plans up at Lake Burton, Lake Rabun, Lake Blue Ridge, up in the mountains in general, a few showers and storms will be possible in the early afternoon. That could sink into North Metro around sunset. No severe weather expected, not going to have a big impact on your day. Let's take you through First Alert Futurecast on that. Again, back half of the day, most of your day looks dry. Clouds will build in the afternoon around 4 o'clock. Some showers and storms moving into the mountains and then into North Metro around 8 p.m., fizzling out after sunset across most of North Georgia. Beyond the weekend, our focus turns to the heat. Finally, not the storms. In fact, we're staying mostly dry next week. Thank goodness, after a really rainy and stormy May. But look at this. We're back near 80 degrees or 90 degrees, on Tuesday. We will hit 90 next Wednesday as of right now. And we're going to stay quite warm next week. Our next chance for rain beyond Sunday and today, of course, will be on Thursday. We'll be watching maybe another weak front that'll move in that could bring our temperatures back in the low 80s to end next week. But we'll worry about that when we get there. We'll just be thankful to have a drier pattern set up after this really stormy May. So again, today, between about 11 a.m. and 4 p.m., you need to have your alert high because we will have the potential for severe storms to roll into North Georgia, including the potential for isolated tornadoes. And then we will just breathe a sigh of relief and enjoy the beautiful weekend that will be mostly dry outside of a few showers on the back half of the day, Sunday north of the city. And then we turn up the heat for next week. Thankfully, a lot of the kids out on summer break, they'll be able to hopefully get out and enjoy some time outside after this really stormy week. All right, well, of course, this stretch of severe weather has felt very prolonged, and we've had a handful of tornado warnings, not only over the weekend, but we had one in Henry County yesterday that caused very substantial damage to someone's home down in Henry County. Atlanta News First reporter Sarah Hammond takes you to Henry County for the latest.
Well, we know that actor Trey Chaney, known from HBO's The Wire, and his 18-year-old son were the two people taken to the hospital after a tornado. Take a look, completely destroyed their home here in this neighborhood. Chaney says his son Malachi is still in the hospital with broken ribs. His dad tells us the teen was thrown about 300 feet from this now leveled home to the wood line. And this happened just after the tornado crossed over I-75 yesterday, leaving behind obviously a lot of damage. Henry County Deputy Police Chief Jason Bolton says his crews started responding to calls for help almost as soon as that tornado formed. He says it came without warning. Chaney calls the destruction and injuries to his son life-changing. And Courtney Bucio lives nearby and says she heard pieces of their house hitting her own as it was ripped apart.
I saw a rotation forming right in my backyard, and then I could see things started flying, so I ran to the closet and got on my hands and knees and covered my head and just started praying, and I could hear things hitting the house, and just all I could think was, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And then a few minutes passed and everything got quiet.
The sun is up here, so we're getting a little better look at some of the damage left behind. But the National Weather Service says yesterday's tornado happened less than half a mile from where an EF0 tornado came through in April. And they say they're going to be out here surveying the damage as soon as possible.
Are you going to roll package
in Locust
too?
Grove, Sarah Hammond for Atlanta News First.
All right, Sarah, thank you so much for that. I'm Gurveer Denza. Of course, the National Weather Service has been incredibly busy tracking all of the storms that we've had in May. You heard Courtney mention that we've had 11 confirmed tornadoes here move through in the month of May, which is significant. So exactly what does the National Weather Service do to assess what sort of storm this was and how strong it was? Our weather team has a special that'll air on Atlanta News First Plus Sunday at 12:30. Rodney Harris has a preview.
Guys, you gotta be in your safe place. You see how this is blinking purple? This is now a confirmed tornado.
11 tornadoes have touched down in North Georgia so far this year. After a tornado touches down, you'll usually hear a report like this. There's some rotation popping up. We go up even higher, Ella, there's some more rotation.
I was surprised it was an EF1. I really would have thought it might have been more.
Tornadoes are ranked on a scale based on how much damage they cause, with an EF0 being the weakest and an EF5 being the strongest. Now, unlike hurricanes, which are rated in advance using weather data, tornadoes are actually rated after they touch down.
We've been to some surveys where you look and it looked like a weed whacker knocked them all down. It's very intermittent, And so that tells me that that combined with the no damage to the house per se, no damage to these houses per se, that the wind speed's probably on the order of 70, 75.
Keith Stelman is the meteorologist in charge at the National Weather Service in Peachtree City. Now, he hopped in the First Alert tracker to show me how damage surveys are done. The surveys, which determine if a tornado occurred and how strong it was, are a simple two-part process.
This area, evacuate
All right,
half-mile
so
radius.
that
Why?
was Rodney Harris.
Because
Right now,
of the
we want to
nature
go out
of
to
the,
Douglas County, where our Don Shipman is speaking live regarding a hazmat situation that happened while we were on the air on Atlanta News First this morning. Let's listen in.
Make sure that we evacuated the half-mile radius.
And to be clear, it didn't end up spilling, though, correct?
There's no product that had spilled. There's no breach of the container, from what I've been told. There's no diesel from the actual truck itself. So we were pretty lucky on this one.
I was gonna say this was a close call, but
Yes, it was a very close call. Normally, something like this would be a little bit more violent, but fortunately, we were pretty blessed on this.
I was gonna say, and then you guys acted pretty swiftly with all of this too. Is there a certain protocol that goes into place when you hear something like this has happened?
Well, the blessing is that we have one of our fire station number 4 is within 2 miles of this area, so our immediate response time was pretty quick. So we had got on scene, we isolated, denied entry, and we just performed our normal duties.
And then I heard that there's blasting caps that were also on board the vehicle, so like that's a concern there too, right?
So once we figured out exactly what was on the vehicle and everything that was involved, the blasting caps were removed from the area. Once again, this was a good one that didn't cause any major concern.
And just so I understand, like, did you guys want to get those blasting caps off that vehicle before tipping it upright? So is that how it works?
We just wanted to get the blasting caps off the vehicle, period, before we did anything. And so it took us a minute because we wanted to make sure that everything was safe. We wanted to make sure that we got everybody out of the area, and you separate the blasting caps from the product.
And then that product, ammonium nitrate, it's looking it up. It's used for sometimes fertilizer and stuff like that, explosive stuff. Like, what do you know what it's used for?
I do, but without actually having the proper MSDS with me and looking at everything that was involved with it, I don't want to speculate or say anything.
Do you have a question?
Yeah. What company was involved in this? Why were they transporting this material? Where were they going?
So the name of the company is Dyno Noble. Why they were transporting it, they could be using it for just about anything. I mean, the route that they were taking, I can't answer that question because I don't have the driver here. But the company, I mean, it's used for a bunch of different applications.
Have they sent anyone out there from their team to be coordinating with you? Is this going to be a strictly fire department issue, or are they going to send out a private crew to deal with this?
Well, since there's no cleanup of any nature, I don't believe anybody or a representative from Dyno Noble will be coming out. As far as the fire department, our folk have cleared the scene. Right now, we're just making sure that the truck is good. We do have to clean up the road from mud, but that's pretty much it.
So what do you want the general public to know right now? When we go on the air in 10, 15 minutes from now, what do we need to get out right away?
So until we can actually clean up the road and make sure that the truck is safely evacuated off the scene, we're going to continue to keep this road closed. The Sheriff's Department is here to make sure that the road is blocked off. But once again, the fire department's portion is pretty much complete.
And do you have perhaps a timetable?
I'm imagining probably an hour plus.
Before things open back up for everyone.
And another good thing is it's early in the morning, so not a whole lot of traffic, vehicle traffic comes through this way. So, but to get the residents back in their homes as fast as we can, we want to try to get this thing opened up as fast as possible.
Okay. Well, I appreciate your time. I think that's good.
Yeah,
I think I have enough
good,
information. All right, I appreciate it.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Not a
I'm gonna
problem.
Take your microphone right here. I'm going to put this microphone on, and then we're going to come to me. If anyone can hear me on ANF Plus, I'll start talking about what we've learned. So if you guys can hear me, I have my earpiece in so I can hear you guys. And if you want to let me know that we are on and ready to go here, I'll just let you know what I've been learning from all of this. So,
okay, can you hear me?
The good news is that I can hear you. How's it going?
It's good. That was great information. So bring us up to date, because when we were on the air this morning, we said this possibly could have been a hazmat situation. There was an evacuation and there was a road closed. So what's the latest?
Okay, so first and foremost, yes, hazardous situation, but it is contained. So what we understand is that this was one of those tanker trucks, and it was filled with ammonium nitrate, which can be used for fertilizer, for example, but it also had some blasting caps that were on the vehicle. The vehicle was making a turn, and it ended up going into a ditch and tipping onto its side. And that was the concerning part. The good news is, though, that from what we understand and what officials are telling us, they understand it as of this point that none of that ammonium nitrate managed to spill out of the vehicle. It is contained to the vehicle, but there was major concern because of those blasting caps that were also on the vehicle. Not sure what this material is necessarily used for outside of fertilizer and why they had the blasting caps on there. A private company was hauling that material, so we're hoping to get more information on that. But as far as safety for the community in this area, all is good right now. But they want to get that vehicle removed, and until that happens, they're going to make sure this area is still evacuated a good half-mile radius. So we're right now at Wilson Road, which is closed off all the way down to Highway 5, and this is Tyree Road right here at this intersection. You can see that it is all closed off. So just to reiterate again, Gravier, learning that this was a truck that tipped over. It was one of those big tanker trucks that was filled with ammonium nitrate, but it didn't spill out of the truck. But there was concern that it could, so they wanted to make sure that they evacuated the area. We looked into it. Ammonium nitrate is often used for fertilizers, also controlled explosives. This area is all cordoned off right now, and it will likely stay cordoned off for the next hour to 2 hours until they're able to safely remove that vehicle. Also, good to note that the driver of that vehicle not injured. So that is good news in all of this too. But we've been watching a lot of people who live in this area try to make their way down here. They can't go home if they're already out, and they've set up like a shelter at the Dog River Library. So if you if you don't have someplace to go, that's someplace you can go right now to stay cool, because it is a little warm out here right now.
Yes, and it's not raining, which is good too. All right, Don, thanks so much for that good information. We know it's kind of a good news, bad news scenario for the residents there for right now, and I'm sure you'll update us coming up at noon. Thanks so much. So again, that situation in Douglas County kind of wrapping up a little bit. That area is still evacuated, but there is no hazmat spill. That is the good news. So that's going to do it for us. Thank you so much for watching Atlanta News First Plus. I'm Gravier Dinza. Make it a great day today, and join us on the air at noon.
Thank you for watching ANF Plus. For more breaking news, live coverage, and your community stories, download the Atlanta News First app. You can also watch us on YouTube, Roku, Apple TV, and Fire TV. To join the conversation on YouTube Live, visit our channel and hit subscribe. You can also listen to the Atlanta News First podcast by searching Atlanta News First on your preferred listening platform.